Today an exclusive review with driving of an exclusive vehicle, the new Bentley Continental GT. It's a brother of the Porsche Panamera, and we're going to find out how good is it, how luxurious is it, and how new is it actually or not. We'll find out everything about that with Thomas Nautical in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go. Look at that here in the front, new grille. It's a little bit smaller actually in a way, like in the height. You'll soon see the difference as well. Then you can get it, for example, all the way blacked out, or here in this, let's say, middle, this like a dark chrome effect, I would call it that way, and screaming out the magenta color here for today. Leah could pick the car color for today, and yeah, that's why we'll also see the interior then with some special accentuations very, very soon. Here, this, let's say, update, I would call it that way, because if you think about, is it new generation, is it just a facelift? So they did some notable changes also to hardware parts. However, it's not that everything would be new, so something in between, I would call it that way. And then here, for example, the headlamps is the biggest design change. Before it was like two round ones, now more oval, and it has this, yeah, then you on the one hand could say, that's how Bentley is calling it. It's like from like the eye of a tiger, you know, and waiting to leap forward. And others say these are eyelashes now for the Bentley Continental GT. And you go for the comments and say what do you think about it. And towards the side profile, it's 4,90 m or 193 inches, length unchanged, wheelbase as well. And you can see the wheels here, standard 22-inch. And also these are supposed to be like tiger claws here in that special design. Carbon ceramic brakes are also equipped with that vehicle. This is also a first edition, so basically all the way, all equipment. Different colors are of course also available if you don't like that one. Here, this really pronounced shoulder we have here. And we have a rear axle steering, so that turns the rear wheels in the opposite direction than the front wheels, giving you a narrower turning circle and so on, and adaptive air suspension, and also an anti-tilt control. Towards the rear, biggest change here are the new tail lamps. They have this crystalline style, and these crystalline elements you find all over the vehicle actually, and they are also, let's say, a little bit wider and slimmer. And also here more changes, especially to this area. Soon I have the cars next to each other, the previous generation and the current one. Then you can see the, you know, the changes in detail again. And the outer groove fake exhaust release is always way there for you. And because the outside tip is indeed just beauty, the inside exhausts are then just deeper in there. Yeah, but we're still out there fighting for you. And pretty cool, I want to show that to you already right now. When you open the trunk here, you press on the B of the Bentley. That's a cool opening effect. And yeah, the trunk is actually quick to review, because you can see, yeah, a cabin trolley fits in and the backpack and maybe one more, and that's it. So here, this like a meter or 40 inches in width. Back there, it's more narrow, like more like 80 centimeters or like 33 inches. Just you have this wide area here in the front, and the height is here at 42 centimeters or 17 inches. And the length is also quickly done here at 74 centimeters or 29 inches. So pretty limited, and part of that is also due to this new engine concept, because they also house a battery in this one here now. Oh, by the way, here electric. Let's see if it also... nice here, this... you know, how the sensor is reacting then, and so it's also child-proof basically. What do you think about the design? Tell me over in the comments. And now let's check out, oh, this is like, by the way, a huge cap here, and this is not the fuel cap, but this is then the 11 kilowatt AC charger for that battery, because also that has been taken over from the Porsche Panamera. This one here starts with only one engine, and it's a V8. It's a 4-liter V8 biturbo. It's a known engine. We recently also had the engine in the Audi SQ7, only that it was not with a hybrid there. Here then also same as we find in Panamera versions, 4-liter V8 biturbo. In this case then with 708. Yeah, this is always a little bit, there we go. Yeah, you always have to find here where the exact position is. There it is, nice engine cover, also here with the dome strut. 782 horsepower is the total system output there. 600 horsepower come from the combustion engine. And the battery is at 22 kilowatt hours net. And yes, the full potential, full acceleration potential and power, and 1000 Newton meters of torque only when the battery is full. So 3.2 seconds is the EU acceleration figure, 3.1 seconds in the US to 60 miles an hour. So very powerful. Yes, even when the battery is depleted, it will still have abundance of power, no doubt about that. But again, the full peak power only available when the battery is also properly charged. And then, yeah, I would invite you to a discussion about this plug-in hybrid concept, if it would be suitable for you or not. You can locally drive emission-free, and of course you have this additional power when the battery is charged, so it can make sense for some use cases. Then again, of course, you have massively added weight to the vehicle, and we also drive some nice alpine corners here in this beautiful surrounding to show you how this performs with this added weight. And here the Tiger is looking at you also with the turning indicator or hazard lights in the cascading form here. That looks pretty stunning, doesn't it? However, I honestly have to say, I think the outgoing design was a little bit more likable from this light design in the front. But definitely here also with the cascading turning indicator is also a pretty cool effect. However, I'm really a fan of the new tail lamps, and here also when you hit the indicators with this cascading effect, that looks pretty stunning. By the way, if you wonder, yeah, we're in Switzerland and there are some cowbells out there. But the ringing sound you sometimes hear is actually from that Swiss flag there. And it's not the cowbell. Yeah, you know, the owner's prescription is more cowbell. You gotta have more cowbell. Yeah, so let's continue with the review. And here we can see all the generations side by side here, really starting from the very, very first one, in green there, then the second one in this very light blue. And then this was the direct predecessor. And there we can see the biggest change here, the headlamps, where we have the second round here. Then in the newest version here, if you call it new or extended facelift, also on up to you. Here it's something in between, because you see here the headlamp, then this is the major change, because here that was the second one here before, and it's more like in this oval style. But actually, even if it's not too different at first glance, besides the headlamps, they actually changed more parts than you might expect, because they slightly just changed some forms here, and also here, for example, the height of the front grille and so on. And here in the rear, they had an adaptive rear wing here at first, and also this additional lip here. And then they went over to the new one and made it a little bit more simplified here with an integrated wing. This is also a more cut in, curved in, so they need all the new parts for that. And of course, these new tail lamps, at the moment they're out, but you see this whole design has been, yeah, let's say a little bit more simplified, less different elements. This is the key fob case, also fitting to the color, presented by Leah for you. Yeah, fits to the vehicle, and now she can also show you the interior. First of all, the soft close. There we go. And also interesting, there, the window of course has to close again, and then, yeah, there it is. Yeah, all these magenta or pink contrasts here on the interior, matching the exterior color. Now I take over again here. Look at these dual insulation windows. You can always see that here on the top with these dual layers. Can we see that on camera properly? Yeah, it's always tough to take it like in focus. There we go, frameless of course. And not only the soft close, but also when the, yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, sometimes it's quite good sound actually for frameless doors, but we had some rare occasions where frameless doors also sounded better than inside of the doors. This is a new special three-dimensional technique to create this kind of form at the inside. It's interesting and really cool, the door handles here, right? And the coolest thing is there is like a, you know, like a knurling at the back side of this one. This feels really, really cool. And then a huge entry badge, and also here these Hive floor mats. There we go, really plush. And the seats here, so this is the Dynamica microfiber, and it's a great quality indeed, mixed with animal skin, so there's no animal free interior yet, but they are working on it, but already a step in the right direction. And also here microfiber at the outside of the steering wheel, good grip. And we also have a lot of still menu controls, you know, like also once again with the metal knurling around, and also on the steering wheel. So they still have a rather conservative user interface, and I do appreciate that actually, because I sit in the vehicle and can turn and press some things. That's pretty decent actually. And yeah, as I said, like the microfiber itself is pretty plush. It's also cool that here I can put the seat a little bit longer with these electric controls. There we go. I know what you're thinking. No, no, no. Steering wheel also with the Porsche control here with this same mechanism underneath the vehicle. Underneath the steering wheel. There we go.
That would be funny.
Yeah, that would be funny. Hey, let's control. Let's control the steering wheel. Ah, here it is. Yeah. And then with 189, 6'2", there is hardly any headroom left, and it's not about.
You can see how high.
Yeah, I sit high. And that's the thing. I mean, I love the microfiber, also how plush the seat is on the top part, but especially from the back part here, I feel the seat is like too blown up, too voluminous. In the Panamera, you rather sit in the seat, here you sit on the seat. And I think, I know what's the philosophy behind it, but I think it doesn't work ergonomics-wise, you know? So I think the seat itself should leave you more space to sit in the vehicle. That's the thing. And another cool electric feature here. Click, click, and I can also electrically adjust the height of the headrest or head restraint.
Perfect jawline here.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I get these giga chat comments, and then I had to check what's a giga chat, and I had to look it up myself. So yeah. Then the cockpit overview. First of all, really clean, and they call this here digital detox. I'll soon show you what I mean by that, what they mean by that. And here, pretty cool. Also here the controls for the air vents. That's also, yeah, my favorite feature here. Also listen to that when I really put them in and out. That's what I love about this vehicle. This interface, also the clicking sound from the climate unit. Yeah, that's what Audi used to do. And I could sit in this vehicle all day and just turn the thing and pressing here like the seat heating. I just love that. And I think when all the vehicles put everything in the screen, you just miss on transporting quality to the customer. Because when everyone puts everything in the screen, how can you differentiate yourself as a manufacturer, and how can you give a feedback, like a acoustic and a touchable feedback to the customer? It's not possible, but here it still is. And it's easy to control the climate unit by that. It's easier than to do it in the screen, actually. Or what do you think about that? And now, it's the most spectacular effect here. So, this way, all the way closed. And then when I hit the ignition here, start-stop button, then it turns directly to the screen. And you can do everything in this. Yeah, I mean, this is not so much updated. It's like, yeah, we know that from Audi, basically. This is basically like a Audi software status. Let's call it that way. It's also not so new. It does the job. Most of the time you connect Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Anyway, I soon also show that to you. So this is like all the way closed, or the screen. Or then again, when you here click the screen button, then it switches to these analog gauges. Pretty cool. And then you see here the compass and for example here, temperature and so on. And you can switch around. And when you then, by the way, deactivate here, ignition again, and then it goes like a full circle. So you see it's like a, you know, like a triangular thing when you look at that from this side. And the story behind that is actually it took them 3 years to develop that. And the reason behind that was that there's a small margin for error. It has to fit in there, and also by regulatory reasons, it can only take 2 seconds to because when the rear view camera is supposed to appear, then by law it has to appear in 2 seconds. And that's why it took them so long to develop that actually. Yeah. Steering wheel, once again, cool grip here with the microfiber. It's a good size also, so that in the front everything you see conveys a classy but yet sporty feeling. Then the middle console, we have here first of all cup holders which take ages to open, but that at the same time gives you like this something special is happening, and really nice also with the adaptive functions. Then you have here the armrest. You can also slide it forward and upward, but then there's not enough space here. Inductive charging pad without cooling, phones overheat, 2 USB-C charging. And then you have the same problem we recently had in the Audi Q7. You when you like don't put your smartphone in there perfectly, or cables or that maybe come out or so, then you have this massive thing here. This was planned, sometimes you feel like before smartphones existed, and you put it down and you smash your cables in your smartphones. So not thought through. So yeah, be careful with that, definitely. And then when I here put on the ignition here, we can see everything. This is then the drive mode selector, comfort, custom, Bentley is the normal mode, or then here the sport mode. And E mode we can also click to drive then all electric, to induce that actually on purpose. The seat cooling is cool, actually a microfiber combination with seat cooling, we rarely see that. The VW ID.7 also has it actually. And seat heating would also be possible, of course. So it's interesting, like when I'm driving, I always tend to feel a little bit hotter than, you know, Leah's on the passenger side, and then she has, like, for example, seat heating on while I put the AC all the way down. But then when she's driving, it's the other way around. It's somehow like when you're passenger, you relax more and you feel colder, and when you're driving, you're a little bit more engaged to the road and you're hotter, you know. So yeah. Do you also agree that drivers are hotter, or like especially female drivers? So and then yeah. You can also do the climate DJ here, and you can also be the dual climate DJ, and then you have the dual clicking sound as well. Yeah. So let me do that for 1 more hour, and then we go to the driver POV. And there we go, once again with the nice clicking sounds on the steering wheel, easy to control. This is how you actually control the digital instruments right here, and you can also change the whole view. This is probably what I would prefer, this more analog style gauge view. And you also have a head-up display, which is not flickering on in real life, just on camera, in the matrix. And then here, that's in the screen. This is this classic menu structure. It's relatively easy to control. There we go. There's also a wellness button where you can also, for example, activate seat massage. But you can also do with, now it will appear, yeah, there's the magic. So I did press a button now next to the seat actually, but you still have these hotkeys here then in the lower part. And here we go, this is the Apple CarPlay integration, and with Auto works as well, wired or wireless, and it's a pretty wide integration, that's cool. About the rear seats, so the only chance for someone in the rear, yeah, besides children is, let's try it. So when I use the passenger seat here and put it forward so that I could still sit here basically, maybe yeah, that's not really comfortable, but that way it would work. And then let's try how much space we have there in the rear, because obviously you can see, well, first of all here, this is quite nice. I can also put it backward and forward like this, nice high quality mechanism. And then like here, it automatically slides forward. Also there's here like a metal knurling once again at the back part of this grip handle here. This is awesome. This is what I love about this. And there you can see behind the driver's seat, no chance that anyone could ever sit there. There's ISOFIX though on these back seats, so child seats could be installed. Now let's get back in. So there we go. First of all, there's like a middle console area. You can slide this one open. There are cup holders here, also adaptive. 12-volt power supply, also like that. There's metal knurling around, this galvanization, and 2 USB-C chargers here now in the rear. There we go. And then, well, headroom wise, yeah, here in the coupe, yeah, it doesn't really work with spine all the way up, but if I sit a little bit, yeah, like this, maybe then it works. I also have own window controls here for the rear, and then you can see also this small window here has the dual insulation. So yeah, that's nice and very important. Of course, hey, you can better film me when it's down here. And then let's see if that works. The seat goes back, and yeah, I see it does hit my knees. And then it drives forward again, so but also my feet are trapped underneath. So even the setup that I had with the seat did not work. So tall L's here in the rear just do not work. And it does work in the Porsche Panamera, for example, I think, because once again the seats are in all dimensions so voluminous there in the front. Well, Leah had her Barbie moment for today, so I can have my Ken moment with this very color. So this Ken convertible, let's call it that way. I think also pretty screaming out beautiful color here with the black wheels in this case. So this is in the GTC, the convertible. And well, in the interior, of course, everything more or less the same. But the trunk, as I said, this is rather a problem. Here, look at that. So this here is even more limited. So this cabin trolley here barely fits in. So see here, that's it. So yeah, large convertible, and then with this plug-in hybrid concept, so you have to take that in mind. So probably for the convertible, a lot of the luggage will go to the rear seats. Let's hit some winding roads, and you can see you can drive all electric, silent and relaxed, but you can also put in a sport mode. Ooh. And then let this V8 come to life. Yeah, you feel there's this combination, especially when the battery is full, that you have this electric push. The thing is, yes, the full acceleration power you only have when the battery is full, and then it goes lower and lower. Oh, you can hear also lower the window and also shift back a gear. Here with the pedals, for example. Nice. It's I wouldn't say it's exaggerated. It's still a Bentley. It's not supposed to be a boy racer, so it's rather subtle in the sound. You've heard it both from the exterior and also from the interior. This is very sonorous, low frequency V8 growling. The thing is, yes, even if the battery is completely depleted, of course you still have a 4-liter V8 bi-turbo, and that's still more than enough power. So this won't be an issue. What could be an issue is that there is more weight with this car, of course, with this plug-in hybrid system, and you do feel that in the corners, definitely. I mean, this is just physics, and no one could really deny that. In most situations, probably you won't feel it, like on the motorway and so on, but when you are in these situations here with the winding corners, it's still a very heavy vehicle. It was before, but now even heavier than with the new plug-in hybrid system with the bigger battery. It's all, of course, pro and con. So it might be better than taxation-wise, depending on your country. And of course, locally emission-free than when you drive electric. Oh, yeah, it really pushes you really nicely out of the corner. At lower speeds, the rear axle steering is also active. Sometimes it can feel a little bit artificial, but then parking in and out is way easier with that. That's pretty cool. And I mean, they play together very well, the drivetrains. So sometimes we have plug-in hybrids where it doesn't work out that well, but here very smooth transitions also between the drivetrains and also how the electric power is being distributed. So that one does not feel artificial actually. Then we also have the anti-roll control, so we also remain always upright. Adaptive air suspension, and yeah, considering the weight of the vehicle, they had the best effort that you feel not too much from it. So it is astonishing that here these winding corners are still so much fun with that vehicle. Yes, a lighter sports car would be more fun, no doubt about that. Yeah, but this, der hat ordentlich Druck, Alter, would we say in German. Means like this has a lot of pressure, yeah. You always feel, and that was not even pushing it all the way through, so that's pretty cool. And I think this car can serve a lot of needs in a way. So like an Autobahn cruiser, at the same time you can drive these winding corners here in the Alpine surrounding, and you can also drive all silent, all electric in the city. That's also what they were thinking, also going to the future, and also for the whole fleet consumption, these CO2 rules. Of course, at some point you have to comply. Because of the regulations, and that still makes sense to build the cars for them. Taking it over from the Porsche Panamera here, this drivetrain, how similar do they feel? From the chassis, it's the same, and technology is also the same, so they are pretty similar in that respect. Both have a great steering, which is also really precise. So here there's no dead zone area for the steering and so on. I really like it. Good feeling for the outside parts out. Here the microfiber around the steering wheel and also the inside of the seats is lovely. It also keeps you tighter in the corners. So this adds to the sporty feeling of the vehicle. Also, if you compare the previous generation, this one here feels more, technology-wise evolved a little bit, in that sense. feels more refined. So this evolutionary step, yeah, and it feels pretty much Panamera alike. I think the biggest difference you feel Panamera to the Continental GT here is that the seats are different. And here the seats, they are much more plush in the bolstering, and you more feel like you're sitting on the seat, whereas with the Porsche Panamera, you rather feel you're sitting in the seat. And that also kind of creates a different driving atmosphere. You know, in the Panamera, this one definitely translates more sportiness, although maybe settings and chassis are not that different. Yes, I think the suspension tune, we also feel it, is a little bit more forgiving and comfortable here in the Bentley. For example, here, although we are in the sport mode, I don't feel that the suspension is super stiff and sporty. And probably here maybe the sport mode is the normal mode in the Panamera, and the sport mode in the Panamera goes above that then. But still, with these technology things, doesn't shake at all. That's really interesting. Yeah, only like Leah mentioned that earlier. Oh, look at that, two older Jeeps. They look cute, right? So with that rear axis steering, I would not miss it, because most situations it does help you a lot in parking in and out, basement garage and so on. However, here when you get like low speeds, slalom, then it gives you kind of an artificial feeling, because it almost feels like the rear is fishtailing a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's a little bit too much. You always like.
Oh, yeah. For the passengers, not that good
Yeah.
either. But then again, I still think it's a good idea, because in how many situations do you do low speed slalom, and and in how many situations do you have problems to park in this vehicle,
It's
in and
nice
out?
to have that, yeah.
Yeah. So Leah's in general also a fan of the rear axis steering. But how would you? I mean, we've been driving the Panamera recently. Do you feel difference, Panamera and this one here? Can you come closer to the microphone a little bit? Then?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but
Similar, also, would you say?
when you close your eyes, I don't know if you feel the difference.
Yeah. I think also the seats are really the major difference. And I mean, yeah, of course. Woo, switching.
It's so nice.
Yeah, sometimes you maybe just drive the car that you can switch around the screens back and forth.
Do you see the nice color here? So nice.
Yeah,
The
Leah's
purple.
Leah's color definitely. So yeah, she could choose the car for today. That's how we ended up with that. Oh, there's another tunnel. So I always have to pay attention. I don't lower my window when I have the camera mounted from the inside here. So some gears back. Oh. That's cool, right?
Oh, and some ambient light.
Yeah, the ambient lighting here is nicely integrated. So it is a very flawless driving feeling. And when we go back here to the Bentley mode, the B mode, so this is then the normal mode. Then it also automatically switches back and forth. And here now, for example, I see RPM drop to 0. So that's why we're driving electric at this moment. How long you can drive all electric depends. So I would say at least 40 miles, 60 kilometers. When you drive it really efficient, then it might even go up to like 80 kilometers, 50 miles, something like that. In that region, it will be like that. And here then driving all electric also fits to the vehicle. An all electric Bentley is of course coming as well. That's for certain, and it does fit to the vehicle. We already felt it with the Panamera, because even here, so in the Bentley, yes, the Bentleys are also sporty, but they also have the approach of being a little bit more relaxed and luxurious at the same time, and the really silent electric driving does totally fit to that. So yes, the V8 sound is nice, but this also totally works. Here now going downhill, we can also gain back some of the energy, so that of course boosts efficiency, even though if efficiency is maybe not the most important topic with this vehicle overall. They're the feel weight, right? When we're going downhill and then I have to be on the brakes and going in some tight corners, then I also see Leah flying around there. But most important, of course, with the also mix up pedestrians and passengers. Right? With the passenger, of course, is well, I mean, a passenger should not be a pedestrian, because then, okay, let's leave it for later, this discussion. I'm always keen on her verdict of when we're driving these corners here, is she getting sick or not? That totally depends from vehicle to vehicle. Sometimes if it is random, but it's just there, you know. And sometimes I ask myself, what is the main reason for that? So how is it here?
Good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
So that one gets the Leah non-puking stamp. So yeah, and I think it's, I mean, it is a low vehicle. It's not an SUV or something.
Only when you do that slalom thing.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, maybe then with the rear axis
Yeah.
steering is a little bit irritating, but we have the anti-tilt control, so the car does not lean too much, you know. So I think we let these motorcyclist guys overtake. They always like to drive a little bit quicker. And I mean, I come from two wheels myself, so I'm always happy. And then, yeah, see, they're also usually very polite, and you know, thank you for that, letting them pass. Yeah, this is such a great scenic landscape here in Switzerland. I love that. And we've been here with the Mercedes EQS, by the way. So if you want to enjoy that episode, you can tune into that later on. Yeah, here also in these bends, the rear axis steering helps you because the turning radius is so much smaller there, you know. And yeah, this next Audi was waiting probably because it was expecting that I go a little bit more outward on the corner, but I don't have to actually, you know. So that's all fine. And I really love the steering input. That's really great. And I mean, seating wise, I have to say now, driving the car a little bit longer, I like that they apply the Dynamica microfiber. That feels really premium and comfy. And also like the Einsitzhöhe, like how plush it is in the first area is okay. But I feel that the seat is, for me, too big. It feels like a blown up balloon, you know what I mean? So I would like to sit a little bit more in the seat. And also, you probably can even see it here on our driving record camera. So when I would put my spine all the way up, I feel like to get in this combination with these seats that I am too large for the vehicle while driving, and this does not happen in the Panamera. You know, so in this case, I would probably prefer the Panamera with the Papita seats. With they also offer an animal-free interior with the fabric seats there with a special pattern. That's, for example, pretty cool. So really like the driving. Technology-wise, it works. Yes, the plug-in hybrid concept has advantages, but also disadvantages in weight, especially in these tight corners. But at the same time, the technology itself is working, of course, and probably if you rather use it not for these alpine bends, you also have some advantages. But look at that, how smooth the steering wheel returns and so on. So do have a lot of fun in there, and I think the thing I'm missing most is more space in the seat. You know, I think it's there too blown up for me. Let's say it that way. But definitely, it's so funny when you drive this vehicle around, especially in this magenta color. Maybe not sure if you've seen on camera. Like we were passing some hikers, and they're like, "Whoa!"
what is that?
Yeah, and of course, this is also a big part of it why you would be driving this vehicle here. Pricing will always be something, 250,000, so you got to choose if you buy a car or a flat or something. Yeah, I mean, the flat and house are also way more expensive meanwhile, right? So if you compare it to a Porsche Panamera, by the way, yeah, these also have become really expensive. So maybe back in the days I would say, hey, buy a Panamera for half the price, but that's not the case anymore. So like a spec Panamera GTS or something, or the hybrid also came to like 180, 190K or something like that. Yeah, really crazy prices these days, no doubt about that. And since it's one of the closest ones, I would definitely recommend to watch our Porsche Panamera reviews right now.